Okay, hi everyone, and welcome back from the upstairs. We are here with Andy. Andy, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Andy. I've been around crypto for a long time. My primary focus is education. And as a part of that, I run an educational program called Kernel. It started in Gitcoin. It's been running for a number of years. And we try and focus on teaching things that lie at the intersection between technical skills and thinking skills, personal skills, ways of understanding why it is that we really care about crypto, what it is we're really doing here, what the meaning and value at the heart of anything that we do really is.
I have personal experience with kernel as well, and I was a part of the kernel KB4. But I would love to let you introduce the audience more of like the kernel's vision for the solar park movement as the ETH Prague, like the whole, theme of the ETH Prague is like solar punk, and I'm wondering like how kernel sort of like fits into this vision as like you're the godsend of like kernel?
It's a really good question. The primary way, solarpunk in some way for me is really about existential hope. It's about a particular kind of informed choice that we take, a conscious decision to be optimistic about the future. I think that's the primary place that we find that kind of optimism is with one another in conversation. The primary teaching mechanism that we use in kernel is Socratic dialogue, right? So we put people together in small groups of 4 to 5 people. We have them discuss very particular kinds of topic: trust, governance, censorship resistance, meaning, value, freedom, learning, listening, storytelling, this kind of stuff, which is all core and critical to Web3, but can be explored both through the lens of technical exploration or just personal understanding. These kinds of conversations tend to be the place where optimism and existential hope is actually generated, right? Because when you look into the eyes of another person and you're really present with them and you're listening to what they say and speaking from your heart, the only results that can come from that truly is love and its associated feelings of optimism and hope. The one thing that I will say is that the nice feature about conversation and about this way of merging the technical with the personal is that it doesn't reduce the thing down to one particular way of looking at the world. So solarpunk is lovely. I think it's really, really good that we make a conscious choice to be hopeful and optimistic about the future and to work towards that in really practical ways. But there's all of this stuff about lunar punk too, right? And eclipse punk and these ways of thinking about like merging our worldviews such that like some of the perhaps naivety or overly optimistic aspects of solarpunk can be balanced by the privacy, the security, the focus on anonymity, and some of the really important aspects that come from thinking about the so-called dark side or shadow side. In conversation, these two things flow together naturally because you can see who I am, but also you have to discover who I am anew in each moment, right? That shadow side is always present. You never really know who you're talking to until you sit down with them and find yourself present in that moment. So this is a conversational style, and as a teaching method is really how we hope to illustrate that we don't subscribe to one ideology, one dogma, one way of looking at the world. What we're really trying to do is find balanced and harmonious relationships with one another. And the only way to do that is like consistently sitting down and actually talking to one another and being like, well, why are we here really? And what does it all mean?
And you can also practice that at the hackathon as well. It's like you can like sit down with a lot of hackers and like try to like understand what they are building and like what kind of visions and missions for their hacks they have. I'm curious, like, if we have time with you, I'm wondering, like, what are something that you are expecting or like you want to see coming out of the ETH Prague hackathon this year?
I love that, yeah. Once you understand conversation as a lens through which to look at the world, you see that it's everywhere. We have conversations with our tools, we have conversations with one another, we have conversations with the wider environment. I would love really to see just, I went to a friend's birthday party in Paris last year, and for her birthday wish, she said, I would love to see just one truly regenerative pattern, just one truly regenerative pattern, something that really is capable of making money in such a way that it represents our values and flows back to the people actually doing the work and enables them to do more and more meaningful work in the local communities that they care about. Just one really regenerative pattern where we make money that does that kind of stuff and aligns the incentives in a local manner that nevertheless draws from global flows of value. That's the dream.
That's very beautiful mission. I'm pretty sure that everybody will, that you encourage a lot of people to talk to each other, and that like we will see more good coming even out of this hackathon and kernel as well. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye.